Hello, hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your November reading. I'm Madeleine. Very pleased to have you. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to pull some cards to look at where you are in the story of your month. And we're going to close off the reading with a couple of cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to kind of give you some guidance, some advice. Because as always, Capricorn, the goal is to bring you closer to your greatest sense of understanding, fulfillment, abundance, security, love, joy, peace as possible. And in all that comes in a package of the truth. So let's get into it, shall we? Spirit, we want to know the truth about what's showing up, what themes are showing up in the lives of my Capricorn friends and family. Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, and Dominant folks. Wow. You were way too small to be that loud. That was crazy. All right. All right, Spirit. Capricorn in the month of November. What's showing up for Capricorn, and what do you want them to know for their highest good, Spirit? Always and only want the truth for Capricorn's highest good. What do they need to know, Spirit? How do you want to help them navigate this month? Is there a way that you want them to show up, or something they can embody for their highest good? We want to know that in the month of November. Scorpio season. It'd be skin shedding season. And we're just coming off that Taurus lunar eclipse. How you feeling? Did you have any experiences? Thankfully, it was in your fellow Earth sign, so you know you're feeling it strongly, and at least it's showing up with a friendly angle to your sign, making a trine with your sign. But I'm curious if you've had any recent revelations, and to see whether they will rhyme with or show up in any way in your cards this month. Just spirits questions asking. Wow. Just questions spirits asking. I can talk. Well, we'll find out. Spirit Capricorn, like, let me be the judge of it. We do love a sense of safety. Ah, yes, okay. Trust yourself. A couple more, my Capricorn people. Spirit. Wow. Well, that was easy. I just need a clarifier. Go ahead and drop right into my lap. Okay, so Capricorn, really interesting. Pop them up right here. Really interesting set of cards, and I feel like here's the headline. Certain things may make you want to close off and be a little more protected, be a little more guarded, be a little bit more, I'm all on my own. I can only do this by myself. It's all on me. You want to do the fucking opposite. And I get it. Listen, I have some strong Capricorn placements myself. And as that person, you are not meant to take everything on by yourself, and you are actually doing not just yourself but the people who love you a disservice by trying to leave them out of helping you, supporting you, even if that is just listening to you, even if that is just being available to hear something that you're feeling a little vulnerable about or a little worried about. And in some cases, yeah, they might literally want to support you, like, oh, um are you a little bit pinched for cash? Here, let me help you with that. Or, hey, you're having a little bit of like a crisis of faith. Let me come in here and offer you like a kind ear, a kind word. I'm feeling all of these things, okay, Capricorn? And I need you to know that you don't need to fight. That's what I'm hearing. Um, and fighting is not going to get you what you want. That's just what I'm feeling. Sometimes the message is, hey, it's time to fight and you got to fight for what you want, and etc. I'm not feeling that for you. I'm feeling the opposite. So there are some rules in your life that are becoming a little bit constricted, like constrictive for you. Like I can't even breathe the way that I'm, locked in. That's kind of what I'm hearing for some of you. Great time to remind you, Capricorn, these are general readings. And because they are general, not one-on-one, I'm getting a bunch of different message for a bunch of different Capricorn people that are going to tune into this video. So some of this may not apply to you. Don't worry about it. If it doesn't resonate, that's for some other Capricorn, okay? Take what resonates with you and brings a tingle into your intuitive mind and leave the rest. So for some of you, I do feel that it's like this, the rules of this job or the rules of this relationship or the rules of this family, and I'm hearing all these things, okay, are constricting me, and some of them need to be changed. For some of you, the structures are working just fine, and if they're working just fine, then don't worry about it. That's not what we're talking about. If the, if your church is wonderfully supportive and allows you to be more of who you are and completely open and etc., then that is not a structure that is constricting you, right? Now, however, some of us have had the experience of a church or a temple or a religion imposing things on us, or perhaps a family structure or tradition imposing things on us. No, you can't be that. We don't do that in this family, or we don't do that in this religion, or we don't do that in this corporation, right? If you are experiencing that, it is right for you to be looking out at what else there is. Two of Wands sitting on the top of your reading, crowning your reading. I've got this. She's got one wand firmly planted. And it's like, but there's something else out there. And it feels more exciting. It feels more creative. And I'm just going to jump right over here to the potential / hopes and fears card. Some of you, Capricorn, dream of being leaders. Most, many Capricorns end up in leadership positions, whether official or unofficial. Like you might not be the director or the CEO, but everybody comes to you when there's a problem. Capricorn things. But you want the credit. You want the credit, and you want to be doing the thing that is your thing. That is what the King of Wands does. This is my shit. You hear that thud right when I said that? So, Two of Wands in the present. King of Wands is the potential. Okay? You hope for it and you fear it. It's normal. Our hopes are often attached to the fears, right? Sitting in the energy around and available to you, a bunch of motherfuckers who are just like fucking around. That's what I'm getting is there's competition. Maybe you're getting a little bit hung up on and obsessed with comparing your rod to everybody else's rod. You know what I'm saying, Capricorn? If you're pulling out, the yardstick and you're comparing yourself to other people and it's limiting you, which is what I'm hearing for some of you, then you need to stop that shit. Maybe you need to be on a social media diet while you work on this thing or while you work on yourself or whatever this is, because maybe it's distracting. And that's what I'm hearing. And Capricorns are not famous for getting easily distracted, but that's what I'm hearing. Some of you, it's like less time looking at analytics or comparing this to that, what this person's doing to what you're doing, more tunnel vision, more, ooh, I'm good. Let me actually think back to all of the times that I've been able to take care of myself, take care of other people, create a really good outcome, no matter what I was working with. And that is showing up as what is going on inside of you. Inside, there's a part of you, Capricorn, that knows you're the shit and knows that whatever somebody puts in front of you, like, I will figure it out or I will get through it. That's Capricorn shit. Let that lead you to more fun and exciting places, not to try to keep it up. That's what I'm hearing. Some of you might get stuck. And that's like, again, these are general readings, Capricorn. That's why it's like, for some of you, I'm hearing like there's this big expansion, and others of you, the response to the same stimulus is, ugh, I want to close off even more. Ugh, I want to be even more in control of like how tight my like life is. I know that sounds weird. Spirit, listen, I'm just a fucking interpreter, okay? I'm just the messenger. But it's like, I want to know what the rules are, and if I'm too expanded and creative and like out there, anything can happen. So it's like, in a way, I'm more comfortable in my comfort zone, right? It's that uncomfortable comfort zone thing. So some of you might decide to stay in the uncomfortable comfort zone, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's not a moral quandary. You're not a bad person if you decide to keep measuring your rod against other people and it slows your process down, or it keeps you in a place you don't want to be for a little while longer. The thing is, Spirit is saying this, they said this for another sign, Cardinal signs are really getting it, man. What can I say? Um, you, there is nothing wrong with you if you decide to stay where you are. It's just that there's a lot more fun and creativity and spark and inspiration available outside of what you're currently experiencing. And being irreproachable is not possible. That's something that I'm hearing. That's like, there's no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as, if I get this project or myself as error free as possible, then it will be like, then nobody can say anything, nobody can question it, nobody can denigrate it, whatever. Listen, people will question or denigrate anything. People will question or denigrate things that are like unequivocally good things. So don't make that your barometer. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't, that could be the yardstick thing. Don't do that. Do your thing. Don't worry. Mine was with this fucking fly all of a sudden. It's like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I was like, that's just annoying shit. That's just distracting. It's just a distraction. Don't worry about it. It's like swatting fucking flies. So instead of trying to keep yourself safe, open yourself up. That's what I'm hearing leads to better and good things. There's a temptation to hold it all inside. I say no. I say ask for the help that you need. Ask for even just the love that you need. Six of Cups sitting in your past. A sibling, an old friend, Page of Cups. Here's you in the center, opening up. And I love to see that. Opening up, making wishes, sending out messages, receiving sweet messages. If you need to hear encouragement, ask for it. It's available for you. Don't go on thinking that you have to do it all alone. That's just what I keep hearing over and over and over again, is don't cross your arms and lock yourself in and be like, well, that's it, I'm stuck. Like, you're not stuck. And as a matter of fact, the key to your freedom is dropping the armor. Sitting in the future, the Capricorn card, the devil clarified by the star. The devil is not evil. The devil is the Capricorn card because it's like the earthly pleasures, the things that we can do in excess and then they become a problem. Drinking is fun until it's in excess and it becomes a problem. Eating is fun in excess, it becomes a problem. Almost anything that is a perfectly good, wonderful thing can become a problem when we do it in excess, right? And so and Spirit is saying in this particular case, trying to be perfect, trying not to ask for help, trying to hold it all alone, that is not, it is bad medicine. That is not good for you. It is not helping you. You want to take off your armor. You want to pour your creative gifts in the world. Unequivocally, what I'm hearing for some of you is like, you are holding back on sharing your gifts because you want to make sure that it's perfect or that it's right or that nobody will not understand or whatever. I hear and I say, share your gifts, knowing that some people won't get it, knowing that, the star, she's nude because the idea is not only does she have no armor, she doesn't even have clothing. She is, like wide open for criticism or people making fun of her or people saying your body is not good enough to be naked in public and all the things that can come up for us when we see a naked figure on a card like this. And it's like, yeah, that's okay. You have that impression that my body should be different or my creation should be different or my way of being should be different. That's okay. That's going to happen. This is who I am. And I'm comfortable with who I am. And I actually make it part of my mission to share my wonderful, imperfect, real self with the world because I know that that's medicine that the world needs right now. Less perfection, more authenticity. Less irreproachable, more openly vulnerable. More, and you know what? Saying you're vulnerable doesn't make you more vulnerable. We are all vulnerable. You are simply acknowledging the truth, which is arguably a much braver and stronger thing to do, right, Capricorn? You have an idea. You have more than an idea. You have a feeling. You have a feeling like, oh, I'm supposed to do this, or oh, I want to do that, or ugh, I feel like I want to move in this direction, but I don't want to make a move until I'm ready. That's a good choice. Don't make a move until you're ready. No false moves, right? Don't want to waste any energy. And Four of Cups, also be aware. There's these two can have some things in common. They're both reclining, they're both like observing what's happening, but one has her eyes up and on the world, and the other has her eyes down on what she thinks it should be. This is where I want you to put the water, life. So put it right here. Meanwhile, life, it's like, hey, but we have this new thing for you, but it's like, I don't even know about that. Keep your eyes up. Stay available to hear all of the data, okay? Take in the signs, take in the data. And when I say signs, I don't just mean like, oh, I found a feather on the doorstep. I mean things like your partner saying, oh, I've actually never been the kind of person who can show up consistently, or I've actually never been the blah, blah, blah. That's information. That's data. Go ahead and put that in your computer and add that to your list of, data points. And soon you're going to be like, oh, okay, I do know what to do. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. Share. When in doubt this month, share your vulnerabilities, share your feelings, share your hopes and desires. There are people who want to help you get the good and shed the bad. That's what I'm hearing. And you're going to know them when you see them, Capricorn. High Priestess showing up as the key for you. Trust your intuition. If someone gives you a good vibe, you can trust that. If someone gives you fucking weird vibes, don't trust it. Okay? Okay. You can make a lot of progress if you will not stop yourself from making progress because you're like, it's not perfect. Progress, not perfection. And the other thing as I say that Spirit is saying is grief, not shame. If something comes up and you feel shame around it, I feel ashamed of sharing my feelings, or I feel ashamed of sharing my dreams or my creative urges or my creative output, then know that there is something there to be grieved, not something to be ashamed of. So perhaps you need to grieve the fact that you didn't have people in your life that helped you cultivate and appreciate, your creativity or your softness or your vulnerability. And you had people in your life that were like, be hard and be perfect and be this and be that. And maybe you have to do a little bit of grieving. You do not need to do a little bit of shaming. And I mean of yourself. You do not need to shame yourself. You do not need to carry on the legacy of what someone else has passed to you. That is for you to undo, remove, become the star in that way. And some of you, what I'm hearing is you may even choose to, you may even choose to let that be part of the way that you lead. Like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and lead with my vulnerability because it is also my strength. So it's like giving other people permission, because it's like, wow, even you, Capricorn, even you, person who I think of in my life as like so strong and so stalwart and so whatever, the fact that you shared that there are some days when you don't know what you're doing, or some days when you question whatever, it actually like is medicine for other people to know that like you can be strong and uncertain. You can be joyful and have grief. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's pull a couple of star codes and see how Spirit wants to guide you as you go through the rest of the month. Wow. After everything we just said. So, fourth house, which is house of home, house of family, house of roots, where we come from. And then Chiron, heal. What's interesting is for Capricorn, Aries is the fourth house, the house of home and family, and Chiron is currently in Aries. So for all my Capricorn rising people specifically, there is a healing taking place in the stellar sense, and now for you in the intuitive sense. They're asking you to go directly to your roots, your family, the rules, again, to come back to that Hierophant, the structures, the traditions that may, for some of you, have become confining. and so that you can go to that place within yourself and heal it. And just a reminder, that doesn't mean that like you need another person to heal or to understand or believe you that's from that family unit or that religious unit or whatever. It's like, no, for myself, I need to go back and heal that place. And I'm curious if any of you have perhaps cancer placements, because I believe this exercise came up for cancer as well. The cardinal plans, like I said, are really getting it. Spirit is saying there is, let me not mince words here. There is, and there perhaps even are multiple versions of you from your past that you need to or would benefit from reaching out to and speaking to. So a very simple exercise could be like, I'm going to write a letter to my 7-year-old self, my 12-year-old self, my 17-year-old self, whatever it is. Multiples, I'm hearing this, okay? And I'm going to tell them how much I love them and how brave they are and whatever it is that they need to hear. I know people think you're weird, or I know that right now it seems like, but I want you to know that I think you are, and we're gonna, and da 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 da. I know, Capricorn, that does not sound practical. That does not sound energy efficient. What do you have time on your to-do list to like write to your 13-year-old self or whatever? I won't belabor the point. Time is a flat circle. Speaking to your past self can have present changes and affect synchronicities and make things shift in your external world that match the inner shift that happens when you really, truly forgive yourself for something or appreciate yourself for something. The past cannot be changed, right? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only changed. We change it with our consciousness. We change it with our perspective. Maybe at 13, I couldn't help but in some way, even unconsciously, agree with the family that made me feel like I was a piece of shit, or the school, or the religion that made me feel like I was wrong or bad, or what I'm hearing now is like some of you, it's like I'm gay or I'm trans, or and the world did not make that okay for me. And even now, even though I have accepted myself, there are unconscious places within myself where maybe a part of me still quote unquote agrees with that, and it's not your fault. That's why Spirit is saying grief, not shame. It is not shameful that some part of you still wants to, for example, like maybe you had an abusive or narcissistic parent, and a part of you still wants to abuse yourself or make yourself wrong because you're not meeting whatever standard. And you might realize, hey, I don't want to carry on that legacy. No, actually, I forgive myself. I love myself. Take a little time, write to your young self, speak that shit out loud, make a night of it. Okay, let me know. I'd be curious to know what happens. You don't have to share it in the comments if it's too personal, although I'd love to hear it. You could shoot me an email, you could shoot me a message. It would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to me because that's the whole point of me being here, is to help more people find out that they're already a healer, and that they like them healing themselves is the fucking lock and key for all the other stuff that they want in life. So I hope that happens for you, Capricorn. Thank you for being here. If you ever want a personal reading, you can check out my website or go to the information in the description box. All the stuff is there. I truly appreciate your presence, Capricorn, and I hope that the time you invested here pays for itself many times over. And I hope I see you in next week's reading. Bye, Cap.